that's just my thoughts on it, but definitely it should be used in, it was there to use in the Beachburg area, and that's what it should be used for.
Who's next? Mayor Johnson.
We do the bridge financing, and it's money that we're in charge of. We can decide next year to forgive half of it, a third of it, or whatever, if the Beachburg Fund comes back up again.
I think we should decide now, like, rather than later. We can't decide a year later to say, oh, by the way, you owe us half the money.
Well, it's better than owing us all the money. And it is a plan that we can do.
Either we fund it at 100% or we decide on a percentage.
Okay, I would be in favor of giving the Beachburg Rec quite a reduction, and that a lot of that go to the Beachburg Fund, as Reeve Miller said. And so did Councillor McLaughlin. That's basically what it's there for.
So 50%, and they pay us 50% back. Is that what you're
good
offering?
start.
Good start. Councillor Olmsted?
I just want to understand what makes up the other part of that $56,000 coming out of the Ottawa River Power?
Think water study. For
our share of the grant.
For the aquifer study.
I don't think so. I think I had money in reserves for that.
Okay.
Hold on here. Hold on. Let me just.
Marcia's just checking it out instead of us guessing.
I think Marcia will find it was to pay our share of the grant for the upgrades at the arena.
Yes. So we have the 18,069. Then we have the 164. The $1,500 for the pavilion, and then we have the Beachburg Arena. The difference.
All recreation.
That's right.
Councillor Rigger?
I can just add, we have to sometimes be careful too how much we're giving to the arena, because there's other groups. I mean, there was someone that came to us looking to, fix up the basketball court, and there's other
tennis court,
there's other, things going on out there besides arenas.
Yep.
And
we have to be aware of water and sewer, not sewer out there, but water.
And the medical center as well, because we also look after medical center too if something should go wrong there.
Yeah. Councillor McLaughlin?
I'm just wondering if we shouldn't leave it as the request came as a bridge finance, and if things happen that further down the line they need some forgiveness, then maybe at that time we could address it, but leave it now as it being bridge financed, so it would be on their books as a bridge finance, because that's what they asked for.
It is.
So I think that's where we should leave it, and then at that point, if they come back, then we can address it later.
And that's 100% their cost.
What I suggested is that we leave it at 100% their cost bridge financing, and if we want to reduce it in the future, we reduce it. And isn't that what you're suggesting, Carol?
100% funding, and then reduce.
I didn't understand what you were proposing, I think.
Yeah.
I know what I was proposing, and that's exactly what I was proposing.
I understand that, but I didn't understand you.
Well, I'm saying the same thing.
Sorry.
Well,
a little different.
At least we're on
But now that we understand you, I'm agreeing with that. We don't transfer any money out of the reserves for that.
Okay.
Convoluted conversation. Okay. Count number 7.
Okay. That's right. Possible sales.
Councillor McLaughlin?
Now, okay, so what are we going to take and transfer it out of our general levy? Is that what we're going to do?
No, it will remain that they owe us the money.
Yes.
So it becomes an accounts receivable, so it goes unfinanced.
Okay, but the money still is...
They owe us.
They owe us, but it's coming out of the Ottawa River Power Corporation money? Is it that?
No, it'll just remain unfinanced until they pay us.
Oh, okay.
Receivable, basically.
No, as long as we don't have to up the levy, that's all I'm worried about.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so note number 7, that's just possible sale of, used equipment. Note number 8, that is funds from the MTO due to fire services on Highway 17. And note number 9 is revenue coming in, for the fire protection services to Admaston and Brumley in the amount of $6,500, as well as extrication equipment, agreement with Admaston and Brumley in the amount of $1,000 a year.
Councillor McLaughlin.
Just going back to the MTO, it's not just MTO, do we not still, bill, and I'll have to direct this to Mike, do we not bill, like, if it's one of our roads, that we go to,
There was an accident?
an accident? Are they not billed?
I never looked after that. The chief and Hope looked after that.
Okay, 'cause I think that goes in that figure as well. That's my understanding, that no matter whether it's on the highway or it was somewhere else in the township, if we had to respond, that they would be billed.
Well, I'll check it on that, 'cause this is the information that Wayne did give me. It's just from the MTO on Highway 17, but I'll certainly look into that now that I've taken over those files anyways for Hope, so I'll be doing that in the future.
Councillor Rieger.
And can I just confirm, Marcia, that revenue goes back into fire?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Well, which goes back into the whole
Whole
general
general
funds,
fund.
which fire expenses come out of the general funds.
But it is going to that GL, yes.
Same thing.
Okay, so note number 10, this is from the capital spreadsheet for the fire department, and this is their payment for the fire truck that they always take out of their reserves. Okay, so note number 11, chief building official does not believe any more dog tags for 2016 will be sold, so that's why the amount is much lower. And
Are we doing anything about that?
well, that's why I put note 12. You'll see the enforcement set fines have gone up, because chances are they are going to go up due to perhaps fining people for not buying dog tags.
Councillor Mackay?
Why can't we put, if they don't buy their dog tag, why can't we just put it on their taxes?
Well,
We can't, but
We can't?
and we would never know if they still have the animal or not, so.
Doggone it.
Christine?
Thank you. As directed from the last dog tag conversation, Doug is working with Janet Bradley, with the lawyer, to revise the wording for the warning letter that will go out for folks who haven't bought their dog tag. And then we'll be looking at fresh charges, I believe, June, July.
And I would suspect that if there was $18,000 sold last year, then the fines will probably increase rather than just $1,000, that there'll be more people charged.
Do you want me to change the number? Maybe
Well, if
go,
they don't buy their dog tag, then I would,
should be.
it should increase. Reeve Miller?
Is this council prepared to go to court again and go through the same thing?
If we pass a bylaw that they have to purchase dog tags, if we pass a bylaw that they have to get a building permit and there's a building fee associated with it, then we have to follow our bylaw. And yes, we have to support our bylaw. If we don't, then what's the point of passing any fees?
I realize that, but our experience in backing this up in the system is not exemplary.
It is
That's
what
the
it
problem
is.
I have with it.
Well then, I mean, if that word gets out there, then nobody's gonna buy their dog tag. So we have to make sure that we're enforcing it, and we're enforcing it fairly and efficiently, and that we move it ahead rather than allow for delays. And I think, you know, by the last court case, there was delays on everybody's part, and it was never decided. So That's the part of being in business as a municipality. Mayor Johnson.
This, of course, discussion isn't quite maybe any more than what we need to do at this point, but direct this at Christine. Christine, do you know if we have started a form by which when we send it out, we ask if they still have a dog or whatever? Have we got something in there that they can phone us and assure us their dog is dead if it has passed away? Some people just haven't been buying more dogs when they get older and so forth.
Yeah, that was all to be part of the new and improved warning letter, that if you please inform us if you no longer have a dog, and if you haven't bought your dog tag and you do have a dog, here's the cutoff date, and here's what will happen if you don't buy your dog tag.
Is there an ability to buy dog tags and fire permits? I don't know. Do you charge for fire permits?
No.
Recreation. Dog tags online through PayPal?
No, we don't have it yet.
No, what you send it out.
But they have the form online. They can download the form, send us the check with the form, and then we send them the dog tag.
Okay.
Perfect.
In the mail.
You might want to take a look at PayPal.
Yeah.
Works great. Councillor McLaughlin?
I was going to say, I think we've had enough. If we need to have discussion, we need to put it on an agenda and move forward. This is a budget.
Yeah. So you'll bring that forward, Christine, soon?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so would you like me to set the fines then for a little, I don't know, 3,000, or what would you like me to do?
Councillor Olmsted?
Can we just set it for the difference? You expected $18,000 down to 14, so we just put the difference in fines? That sound reasonable? Just put
Yep.
forth.
Either that or increase the dog licenses, because you are going to get some people that will, once a letter is sent, that will respond. No, the actual dog tag sales will increase if there's a letter sent out for some people.
I'll do half. I'll do 2,000 extra in sales and then 2,000 in set fines.
Okay.
Okay. Note number 13, that is the revenue that we get, that we charge the MTO for snow plowing of sidewalks on Highway 17. Note number 14, that is payment that we collect from aggregate producers in our municipality under the license fee disbursement, Aggregate Resources Act. And note number 15, that is the fuel tax rebate that we're expected to get.
Councillor Olmsted?
Just because I'm curious, what's lottery license fees?
Any lottery license that are issued, 50/50,
They pay a percentage of what there's,
Nevada tickets, any kind of lottery license at all.
Yeah. It's based on a percentage of what their expected revenue will be. Okay, so scrolling down, the recycling funding, that's a Stewardship Ontario for Blue Box funding. Note 17, that's the hazardous waste funding, that continues to be popular. We will be having, I believe, there's a couple more, I believe, Steve, this year? Yeah, this Saturday's one, yes. Yeah. Okay, so, and scrap metal, this one, we're budgeting to get $2,000 as revenue. However, that's just based on the price of scrap metal at the time.
Any other questions in regards to the area? Nope. Okay. Down to drains.
Sorry, I'm almost done. Yeah, I had to get down there. This is the tile drain loans that are billed on the property taxes. right now, we have, 2 tile drains currently are in for 2016. One's for 50,000, is it for 50,000? Yeah, and the other one's for 52,000.
Okay, so what's our difference between revenue and expenses now? 463,000? 463?
Yes. And I just want to confirm this, actually, I did put the general surplus. This is what our surplus was for 2015. So I know we didn't show that on last year's, but it was suggested by Councillor Jackson that we should put it on. So that's why I put that in as a general surplus. So right now our difference is $463,414. So 416, so we're looking, with all those changes, that'd be about a 10%, a little above 10%. So we're trying to still get that down. Now that is without any additional monies coming out to help finance some of these projects out of reserves. So we could do that. And if you would like, I could work this and speak to the chair one-on-one and perhaps maybe bring that back to council. Would that be okay?
I think that's a good idea, and then we can sit down and crunch the numbers and make a recommendation. Is there a levy increase that council's looking to work towards, a 2%, a 3%, a 2.99, any kind of number that Marcia can take a look at? Councillor McLaughlin?
I just want to know, Marcia, because there was a 33% increase in our policing, where does that fit in on our levy? I think you said it was $40-some per household, is
Yes.
that correct? So, but
that's part of the general levy, that's in the expenses.
Yeah.
So that's an extra $230,000.
So, to raise $230,000, how much increase do we have to give?
To the levy.
$230,000, it'd be about, to raise 4,000, hold on. Give me 1 second here.
You know what?
Yeah, I get you.
you
Because we
understand?
should be passing that to the taxpayers due to policing increase.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
So it'd be about a 5.5.
So that would be a 5.5% increase without any increase
To anything else.
to add to anything else. That seems like, wow,
A lot.
that's a big number that we're passing on, and it seems,
The problem is if we don't pass it on
I know.
as the increases
Yep.
come, next year you're gonna get hit with another increase. And again, we'll be at the
but I think no matter what, we need to let the public realize that increase is there.
yeah.
If that's the service we want, we need to show them that it's a 5% increase
Due
just
to,
for policing
yeah.
costs.
I agree 100% with that, Councillor McLaughlin. Mayor Johnson?
That increase, 5% only covers our base cost also. It doesn't cover our billable costs, which we have no idea what they'll be.
That includes the budgeted billable cost as well as the base cost.
Yeah.
Okay. And I agree 100%. If all of Ontario does not know what it's costing for policing, nobody will do anything about it. And it's as big as any of our biggest budgets. It has to be brought to light why we're getting hit with this. And like Chair Jackson said, there's absolutely no way that we can absorb something like that coming out with this beyond our control.
We have to pass it on. Christine?
Thank you. So, just to recap then, the treasurer will consult with the chair. A recommendation will come forward to the May 18th meeting, next Wednesday, the regular council meeting, at which point I'm hoping the budget can be passed.
There's no way. Sorry.
We can give her a try.
We live in optimism.
I think the tax rates have to be put in by the end of June, or June 15th. So if we have to call, I'd have to look at the calendar, to to when we come back in June for a council meeting. So we may so June 15 is the actual day that we come back. So, I would recommend that, if we're ready by June 1st, that we have, a special council meeting just to pass the budget on top of the committee meeting. And that would give Marcia enough time to input it into the system, so nobody gets stuck.
Okay, so a more realistic goal then is we're aiming for a
June.
special meeting June 1st.
Yes.
Now, before everybody leaves, there's just a couple things I want you to look at, and they're in your sheets. So up on the screen, there's a list of unfinanced projects, and I do want you guys to look at them, because someday, sometime, they are going to have to be on a budget. Okay? As well as, I also provided you guys with the donation requests. Oh, okay, well, that's not in there, but anyways. Yeah, they're in, I provided them here on
And
a sheet.
we've already voted on all those?
All of them except a couple. And the ones are in red, we said we would come back and discuss at budget time. That's Kayla's Kids Club at $1,500. That's the Westmeath District Recreation Association. They're requesting $7,759 for phase 2 of their insulation project. And then Cobden Recreation Association, I still haven't received anything or what they're looking for, and then the big one, the Muskrat Lake Remediation Study, Donald Deere, you just said we will discuss that later on in budget time. So those are
So before everybody packs up, I think Marcia needs direction with regards to those issues so that, they can be
put on the budget.
Or not. Okay, so Kyla's Kids Club, $1,500.
Yeah, and you'll see on your recreation sheet that it has come out of the Odd River Power Corporation in the past.
Mayor Johnson.
I'm in favor of that happening again.
Councillor Mackay.
I'm too, I think that's a real good program.
So is everybody in favor of that? Can we just see a note of hands? Okay.
And out of the Odd River Power Corporation, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Westmeath District Recreation Association.
Approximately $7,800.
Yes, and we did, let me get my sheet out.
Looks like in 2014, there was $15,000 towards phase 1.
Yes, and that was just an expense that the township gave them a grant.
I think we need to look at it. The building needs to be,
The
the
building
project
needs to be maintained, so.
that's right, I don't see a choice.
Everybody in favor of that?
Okay.
Councillor McLaughlin, question?
I was going to say, I look at that figure, I wonder if we could just even cut it in half and give them half, maybe that's.
But what's happening now, and they did that presentation, is they don't have any volunteers anymore to help with that.
No,
So
that's
these are the
happening
costs.
everywhere.
I know, but so this is the cost of actually getting help to come in and hiring help to do it.
So they can't afford it?
No.
If we don't give them 100%, they can't afford to do it? Councillor McLaughlin?
I was just going to give them a little bit of incentive to do some strategic planning or fundraising of some sort, but no, I understand what you're saying, Chair, and if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. I think it's a project, if we don't do it, then the building falls backwards, there's going to be a lot more.
Yeah.
So.
I think with the recreation coordinator, we're gonna have more information next year with regards to issues that are upcoming and maybe some ideas on how they can fundraise in each individual area as well for them. But all those in favor of $7,800? Councillor Olmsted, do you have a question?
No, I actually, just because I'm in the business, I'm gonna declare pecuniary interest on this and remove myself from voting on it.
Okay. All those in favor on Westmeath, $7,800? Okay, you can add that to the budget.
And I'll discuss with you how they'll be financed whenever we talk.
Yeah.
Cobden Recreation, I still haven't heard back from Jerry, but I did send him an email again, so let's see, by the time I get talking to you, I'll probably have a number.
Okay.
And
And maybe, can we do an email vote on that, or do you wanna vote now, or do you have any idea of what we wanna fund? We don't know what they're asking for, we don't know how much they're asking for. I think they have to come back by next
Yeah.
Wednesday, if it's gonna get on the budget this year. If not, then it's off the budget.
Okay.
Muskrat Lake remediation, anybody in favor? Anybody opposed?
Okay, thank you very much.
No,
Okay,
thank you.
I know it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of information, but, I'll be working with Charlene then to get it done.
Yay, another budget.
It's almost done,
Mine's almost
All
done.
right.
almost done.
Okay?
Thank you.
Moved by Dave Mackay, seconded by Kathy Rager, be resolved the Council of Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region adjourns the budget workshop meeting of May 11, 2016 at 8:45. All those in favor? Carried.
Thank you so much, Marcia. Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
You could place that over there somewhere. I think that's the pile, way over, yeah, all right. Yep. But, Christine will be back in a minute, she can yeah. There, now it stopped. It's 0 Sig denial.